Over the previous year, we have seen many big names in track and field be added to the list of dopers and cheaters in the sport. This is a big bummer whenever something like this happens, because athletes we've looked up to for many months or years potentially could have been cheating the whole time. When something like this happens, athletes face either a few years of suspensions or an outright ban from the sport, and we've seen a lot of big names get even up to 10 years without being able to participate. And the big story recently was Mo Katir from Spain, last year's silver medalist in the 5,000 meters in Budapest, Hungary, who has officially been banned for 2 years for missing 3 tests over a 12-month period. Now, we went into extreme depth over the full review of Mo Katir's recent missed tests, so if you want to watch that, we'll make sure to link that video in the description down below. But recently, another athlete hailing from Spain has failed a drug test, and this athlete is Wasam Now, Umays has officially tested positive for GHRP2, which is a type of growth hormone that is in fact a performance-enhancing drug. Now, this is actually a pretty big deal because, along with Katir, Spain has recently been the subject of a lot of big issues when it comes to not only the athletes using performance-enhancing drugs, but the overall testing practices done by the higher-ups. Now, Umays failed a test in the early stages of 2024, where again he tested positive for GHRP2, and we don't have an exact date for this, but it was recent, so we can only imagine he's been using during the early stages of 2024, and likely during other months of 2023 and perhaps even earlier. Now, Umays has had some pretty impressive performances in his career. He currently holds the Spanish record for the 5K on the roads at 13:19. He also placed second in the World Under-20 Cross-Country Championships in 2018, only losing to Jakob Ingebrigtsen, and he was also in last year's World Championship final, along with Mohamed Katir. And while he didn't place quite as high as Mo Katir, making it into the finals is a big deal in any athletics event. Now, there hasn't been any official disciplinary action yet. He hasn't been suspended or outright banned. But in an article that I'll make sure to link down below, they talked about how his license might be revoked. And I'm not exactly sure what the difference between something like that and outright getting banned is, but either way, this is not good for the sport, and it does paint Spain in an even worse light than it already was in. There have been some crazy issues over the past year when it comes to not only this kind of use, but the actual back channels and people getting their hands on these performance-enhancing drugs in the first place. We've seen people willing to travel all over the world. We've seen actual medical professionals deleting and outright changing medical records. We have seen some crazy things, and while more information is sure to come about this specific doping issue, it is important to remember that we have yet another athlete that has been taken away that has very likely used these performance-enhancing drugs. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, until next time.